No Burrow, Mahomes, Josh, Lamar. Notably, no Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is one of the most highly scrutinized and also highly discussed quarterbacks on television. Chase, what does it say that Slay left Hurts off his elite QB list?
Hold on. You said notably, no Hurts. What's notable about Jalen Hurts not being in the elite conversation? Just because you said, I just want to make
that his teammate would leave him off. Most often, your teammates just cover for you. More often, you know what it is.
He's not his teammate anymore.
He still is. He got about 5 more days. 5 more days, then he's released.
Look, when I saw this, I said, well, you know, Darius Slay's not a liar. So Darius Slay's telling the truth. I don't know how much, the first thing I did was text the group text. The group text was popping after that because James Jones sent it to the group text.
Hey.
And I said, what did I say? I said, James, is he telling any lies? And you go, you said whatever you said. I'll let you say that. And I said, well, that's, of course, the right way to view the quarterback situation in the NFL. If you poll 32 NFL teams and their starters and their executives and everyone that knows anything about actual quarterback play, they would say, yeah, the 4 elite quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. Not saying that's the order, that's debate. But to put Jalen Hurts in that category, I can't. Yeah. And quite honestly, I don't know how anyone can. And that is not a slight.
Well, I was strong, Chase.
No, but
I was strong. It wasn't a slight. It was a strong.
Let me finish. Because there's been plenty of non-elite quarterbacks to win Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Like plenty. The list goes. The list was so. I don't have time to go through it.
Yeah.
So just because you win a Super Bowl or a Super Bowl MVP does not necessarily make you elite in the play of quarterback throughout the National Football League. Mm-hmm. Do you have elite levels of talent that you're good at? Yeah, of course. He's won a Super Bowl. But I would say that most players and most people that know football will be like, they didn't only win the Super Bowl because of Jalen Hurts.
Of course not. Of course not.
And so for me, when I do elite quarterbacks, and I'll let you guys chime in after this, elite quarterbacks are, if you need to win the game, this guy can put your team on the back of him and go down there and win the game on your arm. That's how I see it. And so that's why Darius Slay is not telling any lies.
I'm torn.
Yeah. No, you shouldn't be.
Here's why I'm torn. Slay ain't lying. I'll get to that in a moment. But I do wonder, why do we do, and it feels like we do, a lot of calisthenics to keep from saying Jalen Hurts is elite? Like you said, he's elite at doing certain things.
It's true.
He's a Super Bowl MVP. Beyond that, I think he finished second in the MVP award 2 years ago. He's an All-Pro, second team, behind, I think it was Patrick Mahomes that same year.
Yep.
So it's like he's an All-Pro and he's a Super Bowl MVP. In theory, that should make him elite. In theory. But here's what I will say. Yeah. I have never met a person that does not play for the Philadelphia Eagles or is an Eagles fan to tell me that Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback. I've never met one.
That's strong.
And that's just honest. Yeah. I sat in the Eagles box when LaShawn McCoy went into the Hall of Fame as he was out there on the football field. I sat with all Eagles players, primarily, obviously former. None of them classified Hurts as elite. I went to the Super Bowl. I talked to a future Hall of Fame defensive player that's currently playing in the NFL right now. I asked this player, I said, hey, talk to me about Hurts. He said, he does a good job, gets the job done. I talked to another player who played in the Super Bowl, already a Super Bowl champ. I said, hey, but what you think about Jalen Hurts? He said, quote, he's solid. Nobody has ever called him elite. Now, I have said Jalen Hurts is elite because he is an elite winner. I care about winning. Yeah. If you want to classify him as an elite winner, I do that. But I will never, ever, ever be upset at someone who does not call Jalen Hurts elite based on how he plays quarterback, because I've never met anyone that's not an Eagles fan or an Eagles player that has called Jalen Hurts elite.
Really quick, what makes an elite quarterback?
I told you, when you can put the team on your back against all odds, time and time again, march down the field and win the game with your arm. That's how I view it, and that's how a lot of other people view it.
And time and time again is
the key word.
The key word. Time and time again.
Keywords.
Right? This didn't surprise nobody.
No.
But what's crazy is that everybody wants to take him not being in the elite conversation like he's not a good quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like you strictly want to go to that. You know what I'm saying? He left out C.J. Stroud. He left out Matthew Stafford. He left out Jared Goff. He left out some dudes that is good at the quarterback spot. And it's more dudes he left off that I could keep on going down the list that are legit quarterbacks. Just because you are not in elite conversation don't mean you're not a good quarterback. Jalen Hurts should not be in this elite conversation. When you put them dudes' names next to Jalen Hurts' names, when you talk about the quarterback play, not winning or losing, the quarterback play, he shouldn't be in those conversations. My man went to the Super Bowl last year, and he had 2,900 yards
I knew you were
passing.
going to bring up that stat.
No, I'm being serious, though.
Oh, God.
Like, if any of these other quarterbacks had 2,900 passing in this elite conversation on their team, they might win 2 games. And that's just keeping it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, elite quarterbacks make every single person around them better. Some dudes on this team, stats and all that type of stuff, have been going down with him at the quarterback spot. Elite quarterbacks, when you have that, that does not happen. But it does not mean Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback. The Philadelphia Eagles are extremely happy they got Jalen Hurts. They just won a Super Bowl. He has a Super Bowl MVP. He knows how to win games. But consistently taking over football games and being that elite dude, that's not what he has shown us.
The Eagles might be happy that they're their quarterback, and they should be. Two Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win in the last 4 years or whatever it is. But that also doesn't mean that they're not trying to make everyone around him really, really great to maybe account for his deficiencies in certain areas. Because there is. He's not a perfect quarterback. And I think this topic, I think we're really talking directly at Eagles fans because Eagles fans are the only people that get upset when you leave Jalen Hurts off the elite list. Everybody else, you heard Acho just say, and that was a way stronger statement than I had because you talk to people in the game and you talk to teammates in the game, and they said this is no surprise. Like, why? I just don't understand, like, why it has to be elite or, like, you're awful.
Correct.
You know how much in between there is?
Yeah.
Like, you know how hard it is to be an elite quarterback?
I guess, let me push back for the sake of conversation. I guess it comes down to, why does it matter? He doesn't need to be elite. So why are people suggesting that he's not elite? It's irrelevant. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's a Super Bowl champ. He's an all-pro. He's second in the MVP running. He's a $200 million quarterback. So y'all keep saying what Jalen Hurts is not. Why don't y'all say what Jalen Hurts is? Maybe that is the fair pushback.
Acho, forget about, and I'm going to steal your line because you used it a couple months ago. Forget about the stats. Forget about the champ, just for sake of conversation, because you're pushing back a little bit on that. How does it look when you turn on the film? How does it look if you're in the quarterback room and we're going through the film? How does it look? Like, from a quarterback perspective, you're going to push back. Well, you're thinking to new school. No, I'm not. Yeah. I'm thinking about exactly what 32 GMs and 32 head coaches. If you do a poll, none of them would say easily.
And not only that, too, though, like, I credit Darius Slay for really being honest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people outside of Eagles Nation think that we tripping and we hating.
They can't handle the truth.
When we doing all this type of stuff. But to hear it from a dude that's been on the team with you for the last, 3-4 years? And played DB. So it's been going against you.
Yeah.
To say that really says something. Whether we want to dig into it or not, that says something. He's going up against you every single day. And, like, when Brett Favre retired, everybody was coming up to me, what are y'all going to do? And I'm like, we got a dude that's better than him. Woo. And they looking at me like, you out your dang mind. I'm like, you out your dang mind. Because I've seen Aaron Rodgers in practice, and I know what type dude this is. Even Charles Woodson, Charles would be like, bruh, he different. And you knew that. So to be at practice with this dude and go up against this dude for the last 4 years and for you to still come out and say he's not elite, you got to believe him. And you got to understand where he's coming from. And then, like Chase said, when you turn on the tape, the play just at the quarterback position, not winning, not nothing, does not scream elite. And that does not mean he ain't no good player.
And before we go, because elite to me is like, you can take Lamar, Mahomes, Burrow now, and you can put them on any team, and they will be very, very good. You cannot, and I don't think you can say that about Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts is not on the Philadelphia Eagles surrounded by a super team, I don't know how well he does. In fact, I would go as far as saying that the Eagles have done such a good job at calling plays to help their quarterback that They are not even close to the norm. Like, they call plays that, dude, they threw the ball. He threw for 2,900 yards, and they made plays in clutch situations.
Yeah, no.
The clutch gene, we ain't talking about that. We're talking about the elite gene, and I just don't know if it's there.
I guess the only thought I have is fascinating. Remember Jamar Chase? He was ranking the NFL's top 100, and he said, I'm not even going to say the guy's name. He said, I'm still going to take Burrow first. We all know that Mahomes is better than Burrow.
At least there's a little bit of an
All
argument.
of us.
Yeah.
Not that, but at least there's an argument for Burrow because he is an elite.
But there's not an argument for Burrow to be better than Mahomes.
No.
Like, we all know Mahomes is fine. But Burrow's teammate says, you know what? Just out of loyalty, because you my teammate, I'm going to put Burrow first. I guess it's such a big deal because Slay didn't even do that. He didn't even, the teammate card trumps everything. And he didn't do that.
But you lying, though.
Yeah. I think he's just an honest dude.
Greg Jennings is my brother.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
Greg Jennings is my brother from another mother. If he's not a top 5 receiver, and they ask me to rank my top 5, you not going in there. We can talk about it if you want, but you not them, and that's all good, bro. You a dog. I practice with you every day. I know you're good. You not them.
I
That's
love
okay.
Alex Smith. I played with him for 3 years in KC, the first 3 years that Andy Reid was there. Me and him have a great relationship. I would not have called him elite in that category as his backup quarterback because you're honest. That has nothing to do with Alex Smith. And he'd be like, yeah, you're probably right. You know what I mean? So at some point, there's a self-awareness that needs to happen.
Whew, this is a good one. This is a good one. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.